So basically, Kendall is an exhauster. Like she like just deliberately and intentionally tries to exhaust people. Um and and she does that in like numerous ways, right? So like the fact that she says that shit to us and feels comfortable treating us like that, right? When we were in very vulnerable positions, when we were in um, like vulnerable situations, we didn't know really. Well, we kind of did know what we were doing, right? But like we didn't really like know where we were headed. You know what was gonna happen, like what we should do. And she really, really, really took advantage of that, and the fact that she felt comfortable doing that, and that like people and like if we were exhausted, then you know what I'm saying, like I know the vast majority of people here are exhausted doing that kind of stuff. Um, and so what's it called? Um, so basically she does that to everybody, right? And um what's it called? She has like at this moment, right? From for years, she's had like close contact with my mom, and like I guess our family. um but but um what's it called? What was I gonna say? Um Basically she doesn't do anything, and she goes out of her way to like make people uncomfortable, make people so like she like makes people uncomfortable. She um like accuses people of doing like a bunch of different things. um she accuses people of spending too much money. She accuses people of being reckless. She accuses people of being irresponsible. She accuses people of being um like to this, to that, like too much, too little, like too expressive, too subtle. um, she says that like she accuses people of being fat, or being like severely underweight. She accuses people of having very serious mental illnesses, like severe mental illnesses. Um, she accuses people of doing things to intentionally hurt people, intentionally, you know, go out of our way to hurt people. She accuses people of all that kind of shit, right? And so because of that, or like from that, um, she um, treats people accordingly. So she kind of like loosely treats people and plays like mind tricks with them, um, with people, gaslighting people, making them like doubt what they know, what they feel, all that kind of shit, and tries to convince people to listen to her and only her, and to listen to nobody else. Um, and she's just like wildly fucking like gross and just like you know convince like you know saying like trying to convince us that we were flippant, they were being flippant, they were being immature in serious situations, accusing us of that and then treating us accordingly. So it's wildly fucking delusional, and it's very just like grimy and gross and disgusting to do that kind of stuff. You know, that's you know whatever. But um what was I gonna say? um this kind of like pushes us farther away from her, by the way. Yeah. Thinking about this kind of stuff, and talking about it. Yeah. And so she treats people accordingly, so like, and she exhausts people in that way, so like she she were terminal. But anyways, um she uh you know treats people, she treats people as if they are doing those things, you know, that she knows that we aren't. Pretty much. She's never seen it before. Like, you know what I'm saying? There's no reason for her to do any of that kind of stuff, right? Um, and so like that's what like an immense mass, like an excessive amount of pride and ego and selfishness and narcissism looks like, among many other things, right? um, it is just like weird and like sinister. But basically, she is she, you know what I'm saying, like she just, you know what I'm saying, assumes like there doesn't have to even be a mess, right? The house could be like very like barren. Is basically what she wants, right? She wants the house, like a house, to be barren and like devoid of anything being seen, rather than like, except for like maybe a few things on like some tables. um but like when it's very nitpicky as well. And so it's excessively, yeah, it's excessively nitpicky. um but so she treats people accordingly. She treats people as if um she is, as if we are like gross. Right? So she, in the way that she does that, so like the way that she tries to make people feel gross and make people try to convince people that they are gross, um is is that um she makes a really really big deal about a clutter or a mess, and she makes things like, she blows it out of proportion and makes it seem like a small clutter on a bed, or some mold on some food in the kitchen, right? Or fruit flies in the kitchen, seem like we just don't know how to take care of ourselves, which is like the main thing that my mom was talking about. She was just like continuously like throughout my life, she was continuously talking about how she just refuses to take care of herself. Like she doesn't do anything to take care of herself. She doesn't do anything to relax or any of that shit, right? And so like she tries to make other people um not, you know what I'm saying, like not do that kind of, but like also do that. um but anyways, so like even if you had like a little bit of a clutter on the bed, if you have wrappers like places, right? We're already very busy doing work, right? You know, all that shit, right? Like she tries to make people work hard. um and you know, puts people in positions where they have to kind of work hard, where they feel really pressured to work hard. um and so we're doing that, right? We're always worrying about cleaning, we're always worrying about maintaining something, we're always worried about looking presentable, we're always worried about money, we're always worried about food, like what foods like do like what foods would she want me to eat. um and so that shit is like but that shit is um like it gets exhausting trying to keep up with all of that, right? Especially if you have children, trying to keep up with all of that, and like, you know, going to and fro like children activities, because she tries to, like, you know, tries to get you involved with the community, right? So you have to do uh you have to do, write this down here. You have to do school. You have to be in school. Like my mom is like 40 something and she's still in school. She's just been in school. You have to be in school. You have to work like super insanely like impossible, like not impossible, but like, you know what I'm saying, like exhausting standards. Like truly exhausting standards. School, work, have a little fun. I wrote this down a little bit earlier, but a little fun. Then you have to clean, like constantly, like as soon as there's a mess, you have to clean. Like as soon as there's something somewhere where it's not supposed to be, you have to clean. Right? You have to worry about food. Very specific. So she's trying to give us eating disorders. Right? And she kind of did give all of us eating disorders, right? Because you know what I'm saying? Like she was like really like adamant and like pressuring everybody to like eat like your starches, eat your starches, eat your vegetables, and eat your meats, and eat your vegetables, and like have a piece of fruit, and like and like that's it. Like there's no other thing that we can eat, and like there's no other thing that we can obtain. She won't give us anything else. She won't allow us to have anything else. And if you observe the meals that she would give us whenever she would drop ship that shit in our house, right? It's very much so according to that delusion of what like those specific foods that we should eat, right? And not too much sugar. You know what I'm saying? We shouldn't be eating any sugar, really. If you don't eat any sugar, that's a good thing. Like, no, it's absolutely not a good thing to not eat any sugar. But what was I gonna say? So basically, she was eating disorder. She like OCD, like clean constantly is like a very OCD thing. It is plain and simple. Is have a little bit of fun. Is exhausting. Working all the time is exhausting. It's also OCD as well, and it's very one-dimensional. It's very boring. School is the same thing. School is basically just work. But we're paying them for some reason. But anyways, in order to do more work, to what I'm saying, I guess it's really really weird. But clean constantly. Food. What else? Like visual appearance. And so like these things like encompass like every like aspect of our lives, of like what we spend time on, in general, just like in totality. Because we go to school for 8 hours. You have to do homework. You have to do sports, right? We're forced to do sports and homework and all that shit. So that was all the time. We have like an hour to eat, which is insane, right? We have like maybe 45 minutes to have a snack, and then if you forget your snack, oh well. You know what I'm saying? And then like it's like boot camp. It's like slavery. Like legitimately, it's slavery. To be doing all that shit because we're not being compensated for the work that we're doing, right? And the work is fucking retarded as hell and meaningless. I don't. The vast majority of things that in school, people always say that shit, right? But that's for a reason, because people legitimately, like, people legitimately, like, don't retain any of the information because like I swear to you, if we go back to our notes, we'd be like, what the fuck is this and why are we learning this, right? Why are we spending all day learning this shit? Like all day learning this shit, this bullshit that doesn't even like that isn't even a fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? That is not like is like oddly like slightly tangible. And it's like we didn't really do anything in school, but like sit there and like do what we were fucking like I don't know what some random fucking stranger is telling us to do. You know what I'm saying? We barely know the teachers in the beginning of the semester, and they just tell us to do random shit. But like we get to know them, right? And then that's when they like we get to know them and they lax up a bit, right? But like at that point when we get to know them well, and like when we um what's it called we get to know them well, um um when we get to know them well towards the end of the semester, when we are not their, you know what I'm saying, they're like even their students, right? But anyways, and she was a school teacher, right? So um for like decades she was a school teacher at FS Edmonds, and so like um she um you know is very adamant. She's like, she very much like admires education so much, and like she loves education, she loves being an educator, she loves teaching and like, you know, all that kind of shit, right? She's like very nice to her kids. And it's just like really weird, but anyways, um visual appearance, you have to be presentable. If you wear too much, if you wear too little, if you wear too little, you're a fucking slut, you're a whore, like all that kind of shit. um, if you wear too much, like looks weird and gaudy and scary. um, like even if it's like, you know, like like visually like cohesive and appealing and like, you know, all that shit. It's like styled intentionally and well and like all that kind of shit, right? Even then, she still nitpicks like your appearance and all that kind of shit, right? So yeah, I mean like these things, like there's like, you know what I'm saying, there's a lot of subsections within these, like, you know, within these things, right? We can't smoke as food. um yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying, like she nitpicks every single little like inkling, like little thing within these things, right? And we're forced to do these things, right? And even then when we do that shit, like it's nitpicking. So what does that fucking sound like? But you know what I'm saying, that's all to say that this shit is like insanely, it's taxing. It's not taxing, but like it's very exhausting. It's very, very, very exhausting, and people need to rest from doing all this shit for years. Some people have been doing this for like, you know what I'm saying, like 20, like 30 years, like honestly. School and work, doing bullshit work, doing nothing, like it doesn't help anybody, it doesn't contribute anything. So but I mean, yeah, like honestly, people should be doing other things, like, you know what I'm saying, there's so many more things than school, work, a little bit of fun, which is like really arbitrary and like weird and like very limited and very pressurized as well. And it has like constraints and shit, and has strings attached and shit to that too. So clean, and then food, and then visual appearance. So all that shit is you know what I'm saying, like just complaining about everything, just like I don't even know. It's and then playing the victim after forcing everybody to do this, and then forcing people to do it again, and enforcing that constantly. Because that's all she does is enforce these things. But we knew this months ago. But anyways, but so yeah, it's basically and like yeah, all the little categories, like subcategories within these, it is exhausting because these things are like, they take up a lot of time and a lot of energy, and so people don't have the time to have a little bit of, you know what I'm saying, not much energy to have fun that they really want to, like going to parties, going to raves, all that kind of shit, right? And like going out and about, like tasting things, blah blah. But let's see, and like studying things that they want to study, right? Because they're studying work in school, like they're studying bullshit shit. And so it's just like very exhausting, and it makes sense as to why people are like crying over this shit, right? Like why people are just like exhausted, complaining, all the time about this shit. And she like, you know, says people complain too much, but like, you know what I'm saying? It makes sense because like if you were a slave, like, you know what I'm saying, like what? um um very little conversation, like not as much, not it's happened quite a few times, right? um Not enough. It's not like um very 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 little, very little compensation. So people are quitting their jobs, right? People are starting their own businesses. People are doing their own thing. People are dropping out. People are doing, you know what I'm saying? It's not that far fetched that people are doing this shit because no, like, you know what I'm saying, like no one wants to do any of this shit. And when they have the option to not, then they're gonna choose that, right? So very 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 little compensation for all the hard labor that they're doing. Like for years, for decades, right? They're doing this shit for decades. It's like, I don't know, but so it's, you know, no, like no, and so, you know what I'm saying, like we have, like, because we've been treated like this, right? We have the right to lash out at people. We have the right to fucking yell at people. We have the right to curse at people. We have the right to want to be left alone. We have the right to demand to be left alone. We have the right to, you know, demand money from people, right? That have an abundance of money. We have the right to do our own thing and work, you know, not that hard for a shit ton of money and a shit ton of, you know, different opportunities to make us more money, give us like gifts, all that kind of shit, right? We have the right to ask for gifts. So we shouldn't feel guilty about any of that shit. That's it.